Hey Emma,
Yes, Madeline.
what would a Pokemon in Pokopia say if they wanted their room painted in a sort of more boring color?
I don't know. What would they say?
They'd say, "Let's get this place humid." Hello and welcome to Talk
It's
This.
dangerous to podcast alone.
I'm your hiding under a cardboard box in a, illusion type way, host Madelyn.
I'm your, instead of my tattoos driving me crazy, it's Madeline's puns, host Emma.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to this week's show. Show's over. That's all I can take. This week, we're talking about Mark of the Ninja, and we are talking about Pokopia. So get hyped.
Get hyped, indeed.
Get humid.
Use your hype Pokemon skill.
Yeah.
But first, Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah. I had never heard of Mark of the Ninja. Probably because it was on Xbox.
Yeah, it is now on everything.
I know.
The remastered version, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mostly know it Mark of the Ninja, developed by Clay Entertainment, who I was honestly not really aware had made games prior to Don't Starve.
But they were
have.
apparently pretty well-regarded games, too. So history marches on. Yeah. Mark of the Ninja is a side-scrolling stealth platformer that they developed and published by Microsoft in 2012. It was an Xbox Live Arcade game.
Ooh.
Big deal at the time. Also came out on Windows, and yes, in 2018 it came out on all of the PlayStation 4 era systems in a remastered version.
The rare 2D stealth game. The rare stealth game. I maybe should just say, but the very rare.
Even rarer
2D stealth game.
Yeah, it didn't really ping my brain when I was first reading about it. I was like, oh sure, like a platformer or whatever. And I guess I was too busy thinking about, oh god, I can never remember the name of this game. What's the one where you have the sword and you kill them?
The one where you have the sword and you kill them. The one video game.
That's gotta be enough. We talked about it on the show 7 years ago. It's very kind of sort of flashy looking, animated. I'll look it up while you're talking about something. Katana Zero, okay. That's it. Thank you. I knew that was going to be enough. So because I have played Katana Zero, I was which is not really like this.
No.
It is to a certain extent exactly the kind of game that this guy was not trying to make.
Yeah.
But because I was thinking of that game, I was like, oh sure, kind of stealth 2D, that's a thing. But no, wow, making a 2D stealth game is actually hard.
Yeah.
Because all the things that you do in stealth games, so much of it requires 3D views and 3D space, which I didn't really think about until I was reading interviews with these developers.
Yeah, because a lot of the 3D stealth is mostly about line of sight.
Yeah.
And in a 2D plane, you're always in line of sight.
Yes. There are no corners, as they said in every single interview.
Yeah. But you can do things like crawl on the ceiling.
That's right. So they were able to find creative ways to get around that. But yeah, it's the kind of thing that is easy to overlook as a challenge of making this kind of game. I'm sure if I had just kind of played this game without having read about it or any of that developer commentary, I might not have thought about, oh yeah, there are some design decisions here that probably took a lot of thought and effort to come to because they are making a stealth game in a different dimensionality than usual.
Yeah. And also just kind of making their ethos for the stealth game, or at least the design direction they landed on, perhaps partially because it was 2D, was quite a little different than the way stealth is usually sort of handled in games, where you're kind of like taking chances, right? Like you're trying to observe the environment, but like when I'm sneaking in The Last of Us, sometimes I mess up and get spotted trying to silent take down somebody. And then it turns into an all-out brawl, right? And that's kind of the flow of stealth as it's integrated into like non-main stealth games. And I did think it was interesting reading all this stuff talking about like they didn't really want it to be sort of like a trial and error situation because they never really wanted you to get into like straight up combat ever in this game. And so instead of like trying something and then being like, oh, I guess that alerted the guards, I guess I'll die and try again. It was more about giving you a lot of information very clearly so that you could like very efficiently sort of plan out what you wanted to do and then execute it.
Yeah, because even in games that are predominantly stealth games, there's still most of the time that major element of uncertainty of, am I being too loud, too close? Yeah. And again, this is another thing that had I just played the game, I might not have picked up for myself, oh, like what an intentional thing to do in 2D space or whatever. But basically, yes, they have a sort of visual representation of any audio that's happening, so footsteps or noises that you're making, and if you're within the circle, the expanding circle of that, it can be heard, and if you're not, it can't. And that is much, much, much more precise than in most of these 3D games, where it's a little bit more based on vibes and learning it over time.
Yeah. But yeah, it felt like, you know, there was a lot of emphasis on like you want to be making like elaborate plans and elaborate traps for the guards to walk into. And to do that, you need a lot of visible information and a lot of ways to sort of stop and collect yourself as well. So very, very sort of planning oriented stealth game.
It also fits in with the, like, admittedly, most of the reviews were like, the story here is sort of whatever. But it fits in with the story that stitches together all of these ninja missions.
Give us the lore corner.
Yeah, here we are.
I mean, there's no corners, so the lore.
Right, Madelyn's lore.
Grappling hook spot.
Exactly, on the ceiling. Yeah. So you're a ninja. You're a present-day ninja, though, not a historical ninja. Your ninja dojo has somehow, through force of will, survived into the modern era. But here's the problem. One day, like a private military force attacks your dojo. And that's looking bad for the dojo. So they decide that you are going to be the ninja who gets the ninja magic tattoo with the last of the ninja magic ink. It's going to give you super heightened senses. So it makes sense that you can, see sounds as little sound waves because you've got the magic ninja tattoo, right. The mark of the ninja, if you will. And so the problem, though, with the mark of the ninja is that although it gives you these heightened senses and heightened abilities, it also eventually slowly drives you crazy. And so in getting the mark of the ninja, you have to vow that once you start to go crazy, you've gotten these abilities to defend the clan. That's the point of it. But you have to vow that you're going to kill yourself once the craziness starts to set in and you've saved the clan. So like, unfortunately, your sensei has like also gotten this tattoo, right? So he's the one who's like, hey, you've got to go like defeat this private military force and also like steal their weapons. And you're doing that with a girl ninja, taking revenge, named Aura. But maybe your sensei wasn't so noble.
Right.
Like, Roro, maybe he's already crazy and he doesn't want to kill himself. This does seem like something that maybe should have been confronted before in this ninja tradition. Has it never happened before that people have gone crazy and decided, I don't want to be dead? Something to think about. But anyway, spoilers, at the end of the game, you have the option, like, as you're starting to go crazy too, you can either kill your sensei, or, like, maybe the girl ninja has also been a hallucination all along, so you can choose to, like, kill her, but that's actually killing yourself. And then the game ends.
Very, very gender of the ninja.
Yeah. Oh, very. That's
if you
true.
really read into it.
I didn't see any, like, yeah, Mark of the Ninja, like, trans allegory, and yet.
I don't think there's anything intentional in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of fall into, like, this era of games, like, the way it sort of hand waves, like, the, yeah, you go insane kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're just so crazy, right?
Yeah.
In a way that, like, this is a pretty, like, you know, you gave a summary, and that's about, it's not presented very complicatedly, or
No.
very linkily.
It has cool cartoon cutscenes, like, the stylization of it is cool.
Yeah. But it sort of just, it breezes through these plot points in a way that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily have to dig into any potential pitfalls or themes that the story is doing, but on a surface level it is a little bit like what's the word I'm looking for? Flippant about the tattoo that makes you crazy or whatever.
And that's something that, well, the team certainly in interviews doesn't go, oh, the story's whatever. Like, they don't, actually. They definitely try to play up the story as being somewhat dramatic and serious. But there's also definitely talk about the idea of, well, you know, when you choose a ninja for your story, like, people kind of get that, right? And, well, you have to do some work to set up what is the particular conflict here. People sort of understand this is what the character is. This is kind of the idea of, like, stealthiness and nobility and an aversion to technology or that sort of thing. So it's a shortcut that lets you get straight to, let's do some ninja stuff.
Which is also interesting contrasted with, like, they wanted to make this game because a lot of, like, the ninja games that were out, like Ninja Gaiden, they talk about a lot, which we've talked about the show somewhat recently, I think.
Yeah.
You're not really stealthy in Ninja Gaiden.
No.
You are really murdering people in sick, cool, choreographed ways. Which is interesting because, I mean, it's just interesting thinking about, like, the ninja as a thing. Especially one that has been, like, sort of adopted by the West and has, like, unique, like, cultural understandings of what ninja is.
Yeah.
You know, we watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? And so it's like, just
think about the ninja and like, that doesn't even register.
They have the eye mask things.
You're totally right. It's just, yeah.
They use their weapons that are ninja-y. They're making the Last Ronin game about whichever one of those Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Michelangelo or whatever. But it is interesting to be like, oh, like, we're doing, like, a ninja thing that people understand, and then you look at something like Ninja Gaiden that is made where ninja are actually from, and the ninjas are not doing the, like, what we understand pop culturally ninjas to do, which is just interesting to think about. I don't know. I don't have any larger conclusions on that, just like...
Yeah, it's a weird thing of, like, we understand what this is, but then oftentimes it doesn't get used. It's weird to think about it as, like, everybody knows what this is, but then we don't even really use it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really harp on Ninja Gaiden in the reviews. They're like, we don't want to do that. We hate that.
I don't know if they really... Yeah, I know you're being dramatic. I understand.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it does seem to be mostly, like, confusion. It's like, why is this a ninja game? I don't get it.
Now, that being said, they did... So most of these interviews are with Nels Anderson, who's sort of the lead designer on this game. And he did talk in a few of them about how... Well, one, the challenges of developing a game like this, which I think is always kind of interesting to hear about from a genre by genre perspective. And Nels' opinion is that a stealth game like this was really hard to develop because until things are pretty close to good, and until most of your systems are working pretty close to good, it's really hard to tell if things are working.
Mm-hmm.
That so much of it relies on the enemy UI, but also on you having all the tools in your toolbox and whatever. There was at least one interview where he was sort of like, well, like in an action game, if maybe you haven't figured out like the strafing yet, that's okay. Like you have a sense of how that'll go in the game. But he says, but if the AI in a stealth game doesn't behave consistently, the game is basically unplayable. And so it sucks. You have to have all these components more or less working.
Yeah, I did think it was in one of the interviews they talked about, like, for a bit we tried having, like, more smart...
Yeah, more combat.
More complicated AI on the enemies.
Yeah.
And that was bad for a stealth game, actually, because they would not act, like, the same way each time because they were smarter. Yeah. And that was actually bad for letting the player, like, make plans that they could execute successfully. So we had to, like, make them stupid again.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be consistent, right? It's not fun if it feels like you're rolling the dice as you would with a real person.
Yeah.
And particularly in something like, I think the 2D plays into that too. I could imagine in something like Hitman, right? Which, granted, is still about making like elaborate plans that you're able to execute consistently. But I could imagine there still being some fun in something like as complicated as that game to, whoops, like this time... the guy was really interested in the cheese, and he hung out a little extra long, and that kind of messed up the plan. Like, there could be something to that. Yeah. But in a game of this level of, 2D heist, basically, even though it's not a heist, but you get the idea, that kind of planning vibe, it does sort of seem like, oh, if they're too smart, you'll just never get through it. Yeah. Or it'll feel too random, which is not how you want to feel when you're playing a ninja. Yeah. I mean, they also talked in the interviews about how they had, for a while, they had a little bit more, like, combat ability, or direct combat ability for your character, but they realized that people will make the game less fun for themselves. Yeah. Which we've talked about in various contexts on the show before, but that basically, like, even though it is much more fun to play this game where you are doing the stealth and you are hiding... basically, as soon as people had the ability to just sort of like punch their way through, they will. Yeah. Even if it makes the game no fun at all.
Yeah, you have to be careful about what powers you give the player.
Yeah, because the player will use the easiest way to do it. Pretty much no matter what.
Mark of the Ninja was made in just 18 months, apparently.
They have a whole, I didn't watch this other than the headline, but they have a whole GDC talk about how they tried to be sane doing it and seem to have relatively succeeded. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see one GDC talk with the founder saying part of it being like, we didn't crunch. Yeah. And crunch is stupid, basically. Yeah. Good. I think that I like the quote. It's from Jamie Chang, was the founder of Clay Entertainment. He says, "To hide behind art as a shield for poor process is wrong. You screw with future developments by taking this approach."
That's real.
Yeah. It's just like, it is like the interesting balance of like, of course you don't want to ship something that's bad. You want to make it good. But if you're always crunching and taking it out on your developers, then that's not a sustainable way to build a company after that game comes out.
Exactly.
Not that there is a sustainable way to...
fire everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, not that there's even a sustainable way to build a company anymore. Period.
But in theory.
These days. Yeah.
It's sort of surprising to me that this game doesn't have a sequel, and also feels like it doesn't have... This doesn't feel like a game that has a significant cult following to me. Yeah. It reviewed really well. It seems like it did pretty well. Everyone was like, this could be downloadable game of the year in the reviews, which was a lot of time capsule. But there's no sequel. there's no real discussions of a sequel. I mean, I guess Don't Starve and everything has kind of eaten them alive,
Yeah.
haha. But
I think that Don't Starve was just so successful
yeah,
that has been their focus. I mean, Don't Starve was the next game after this,
right.
I believe, from them.
Yeah.
And then they made Don't Starve together. And I don't think they've made anything else since then, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. Surprising there aren't more 2D stealth games based on this.
Stealth is such a non-genre in games that
isn't that weird? Doesn't that feel like in a vacuum like a weird thing?
it's hard. I just want to make the guy fight cool, okay? You can't do as many flips and cool kicks and helicopter blades with a stealth game, you know?
I don't even think that's true.
You can't isn't a drop or whatever it is in Ninja Dragon. I do think part of it is just like designers like combat so much.
Yeah.
That it's like, why would I make a game that could be a combat game but isn't?
That's fair. It's just always funny to me.
What are all my combat designers gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. Fire
No.
No, it just surprises me. It surprises me every time we talk about stealth games, or every time every stealth game is like, well, it's like Thief. And it's like, isn't there any other game?
All right, any last thoughts about Mark of the Ninja?
I thought about playing. I didn't realize until too late that it was like playable for me.
Oh yeah.
So I considered it, and like I might. It's on sale right now. It's $5.
It is kind of a heist game in a way. Heist adjacent.
I should see. It's on sale on PlayStation. I think it wasn't on sale on Switch. If it's on sale on Switch, I'll pick it up for sure, because I think it's probably a decent train game. But if it's on PlayStation, I'm 50-50.
All right. Well, look forward to that in 6 weeks to discover.
Yeah, well, I'm in 5 weeks, I think you mean.
No, 6 weeks because Paxson is in it.
In 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Or will I actually just start Yakuza Ishin, which I did think about starting this past week, and then I was like, no. I'm busy. I can't start it now. I'm too busy. I'm never going to be home. But that's basically a ninja game, right? Same thing.
That's the best time to start a really long game.
Too busy. Nah, it's for like this winter.
All right. Is it Pokopia time?
Speaking of games I wish I could have played. Pokopia. Woo!
If you've been listening to our 6 weeks in gaming since when did this come out?
Like March.
Since March. You have heard some of me playing Pokemon Pokopia. But if you haven't, then Pokopia is a sandbox-ish sort of habitat builder game
Pokemon
from Game
Apocalypse.
Freak. Yeah, Apocalypse. Rebuilding after the Apocalypse game from Game Freak and Koei Tecmo's Omega Force team. Published, of course, by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2.
More companies should have teams within them with names like Omega Force. And
Yeah.
I don't mean in video games.
Just in general. Yeah.
Like, I think the New York City trash guys should have an Omega
Should
Force.
have an Omega Force team.
2, based on sales for Pokopia, which are about 5 million right now, it means that 1 in every 4 Nintendo Switch 2 owners has a copy.
Yeah. I mean, there are probably some people in there that have 2 copies, or, like, you know, for different members of their family
Sure.
or whatever. But yes, approximately, it does mean about a fourth of Switch 2 owners have this.
It's the killer app.
And they didn't even sell it bundled. This was not like a bundle game.
Yeah.
They did not make a Pokopia bundle with the Switch 2. So people are going out of their way to buy it.
If they would sell me a discounted bundle with it at Black Friday, I would do it.
They will not.
If they would,
So
though, I
I'm
would.
going to tell you now. They will not.
I'm just saying, if they would.
Anyway, Pokopia, you play as a Ditto, the transform Pokemon, who has taken the form, the camouflage form of their old trainer, and is in the shape of a very blobby, glooby kind of human. And they wake up in this world that is pretty much abandoned and wrecked, and destroyed in various ways. And there's a Professor Tangrowth there, who encourages the Ditto to help restore the world and create new habitats so that Pokemon will return to the environments, and hopefully, if they build it up enough, maybe wherever the missing humanity has gone will come back and appreciate all that the Pokemon have done to restore the environment in their absence.
Do you think that will happen in like the last DLC?
I don't know. I was trying to. So there is a DLC, like season pass thing. The first town they added like an underwater town, because the way Pokopia is set up is there's a bunch of different like town regions that are different environments, right? So there's like sort of a grasslands, there's a beach, there's a like mountain volcano area, and there's a like sky island area. And the first DLC was underwater. The second DLC is going to be just like new features and like accessories that you can give Pokemon and stuff. And then the third one will be another new town. So I was trying to think about what would be like, what environment would they add, right? And like whether that would involve an environment where maybe there's something to do with the humans there. Without getting into spoilers for Pokopia.
Could be interesting. I don't think they've ever gone there before in Pokemon, though.
Yeah. So a lot of Pokopia, Koei Tecmo's Omega Force also made the Dragon Quest Builders series, which is a lot of the systems for Pokopia is drawing on those. Although obviously this is a much bigger franchise than that, so has been more successful for them.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a mix of Minecraft, because there's it's a square block based world, and Animal Crossing, because especially the new one where you're like decorating your island. People have compared it to Viva Pinata too, which we've talked about on the show, but I'm not personally familiar with.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. You're like taking care of the pinatas in that.
Yeah. But it is very much based on the Builders series, more specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading a bunch of the development interviews. I focused on those a little more, assuming that Emma would take the lead on, on actual gameplay experience, given that I have none. Although I have to say, wow, there are 300 Pokemon in this game. That feels insane. That feels like I've gotten the mark of the ninja. I think that's
including the DLC Pokemon.
Still.
And the event Pokemon. I think that the main dex is like 240-ish.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I'm almost done with the dex.
That's a lot.
I know.
I'm so like having played the New Horizons, I'm like, wow, that sounds like a lot of content.
Yeah.
I was so surprised that Emma actually got into this game, given her kind of aversion to Animal Crossing. But of course, the more that I've heard about the way this one is actually structured, it does sort of feel like it gives me what I would want from Animal Crossing that it never is.
Yeah, I don't think I had an aversion.
Sorry, that's
to
a
New
little
Horizons
strong, but
specifically.
Yeah.
But I did grow tired of it.
Yeah.
Relatively quickly. Unlike this one.
But it sounds like it was interesting to read some of the development interviews, and there was like a big one from Famitsu that I read a hopefully okay translation of. But basically, the idea to being that Game Freak, I mean, I'm sure what happened is they all played Animal Crossing, and 2 of them played Dragon Quest Builders, and they were like, "Oh, this is kind of fun. Why don't we do this? We're not busy enough." And so, like, basically, they came up with the concept and made a prototype, but because Game Freak, has only made Pokemon games, they didn't know how to make a simulator sandbox like this.
At this scale, certainly.
Yes. So they went to Koei Tecmo to do the actual building of the game.
Although I believe the original pitch came from Shigeru Omori, which he talked about in like a VGC piece, that he did map design for some of the older Pokemon, and so he would like put down tall grass in the grids of the Pokemon, and it was like, wow, now I've made a Pokemon can appear here now because I put the grass down. And I didn't think about it, but it is very much like, yeah, it's just Pokopia is kind of like map design the game. Like, oh, I've made this space with my abilities, and now the Pokemon will appear here.
Right.
Which is an interesting interesting perspective of it. That's like, yeah, you're just sort of making your own little maps, and theoretically, if a trainer showed up, they would like go through it and find Pokemon in different places, which is neat.
How much of the kind of custom building have you done?
I watched a developer island tour video where like 2 of the developers had made like little structures, to show off, and like they'd actually been experimenting with the little like electronic stuff that triggers things when you step on things, or like the motion sensors that like play a little song when you go by them, and I was like, oh my god, I could be doing so much more in Pokopia. But, I've made structures, I've made little homes, you have the option either to, like, build your own using different kinds of blocks, right? Or there are some, like, you put down, like, a construction plot and you bring various types of Pokemon and they will build it into a structure for you. So I've done both of those a little bit. And there's some spaces that look nice.
Yeah.
And there's some spaces where I've clearly just been trying to make a Pokemon happy and it looks bad.
Yeah.
That I need to fix. The first DLC pack also came with just like a big free 2.0 update that fixes a lot of like sort of the quality of life stuff. Like it used to be like, there's some habitats, for example, that are like flowers by water. And like if you are trying to divert the path of the water slightly differently, sometimes that breaks the habitat really briefly. And prior to that, that would kick the Pokemon out.
Gotcha.
So they would become homeless.
Great.
And you have to go find the Pokemon on the map and bring them back and tell them, this is your house. And they'll be like, whoa, this is my house? Now, if the habitat is rebuilt, like, within a certain amount of time, it'll still be that Pokemon's house, for example. And there's other things like that, too, that I think will make, like, redecorating and, like, fixing things up a little bit easier. Cool. There's still, like, I just have to drag Smear Guru around everywhere when I want to paint something a different color that I wish was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There's still a lot more building I would like to do. I need to just take on small projects and, like, do a little bit every week.
So you haven't built a lava waterfall? I saw a video of that.
No.
In the Famitsu interview, they were the Koei Tecmo employees who were on it were talking about how like they have like a cloud island that was for their
Yeah.
whole staff. And so basically they were like, yeah, like what they've been doing there is recreating our company building.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, oh, it was really touching, like at my desk, like somebody put a little Ditto plush, and I loved the Ditto plush, and I felt really moved by that. And then the interviewer was like, oh, like that'd be cool, like maybe you all could release that someday. And they were like, actually, the building is way too accurate, so it's like kind of proprietary info.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. But I thought that was very funny.
It is pretty funny.
What's your favorite of the little Pokemon dialogues? Like, do you have favorite ones? Things they've said to you?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many of them now. I've been playing too long.
Yeah.
It is extremely funny. So the plushes are little items that you can dig up around, little treasures. And by looking at a plush, Drifloon, who is like a balloon Pokemon, will come and take you to a dream island where you can find like little treasures and sometimes legendary Pokemon and stuff like that. And the reason for this is Drifloon's lore is, as a Pokemon, it would kidnap children and take them away.
Right.
And so Drifloon's sad currently because there are no children for it to kidnap and take away. So it likes the plushes because it reminds them of children.
Awesome.
That it would kidnap and take away. Sometimes you also find like old like papers and journals and diaries around the environment that sort of like either like fun little references or like fill in gaps about the lore of why the world is like this. And sometimes you learn like emotes from them or outfits that Ditto can transform into. So I did there was like a newspaper about like how there's like a scary ghost Pokemon that like if you walk towards it you disappear forever. And anyway, Ditto learned the goodbye emote from that.
Great. Awesome. I also have to say, well, I think Pokemon Pokopia it's a cool title, right? The Utopia reference is cool. The Japanese title of Poko a Pokemon is way better.
Sure.
They were like, we're referencing the Spanish Poco a Poco, like step by step. I was like, awesome.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It was, they put out some videos recently with Omori, like going through some of like the concept art and like the early prototype that was made to like pitch it. It is really interesting seeing like how many systems and like the design was like already there.
Yeah.
Like one of like the first things he made for the pitch was like a video like showing like the Ditto showing up and transforming into a human and like seeing their trainer. And they did pretty much remake that like almost shot for the announcement trailer.
Yeah.
Which is very fun to see.
I mean, it really does show you it's like how hard, I guess, making video games is now these days, right?
Sure.
Is you can be, and the wisdom of knowing and having, I guess, the resources at someplace like Game Freak to be able to do this. But yeah, it's like one thing to have a very clear idea, because I mean, not to downplay the smartness of what has gone into building this game, but it's not crazy. Like, I'm sure many people have had the thought before of like, wouldn't it be fun to have a Pokemon like Animal Crossing, basically? So to be able to conceptualize what a game should be and to be able to like actually build that game, for many of our old games, it's like, oh, well, you could do both of those things.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of like, well, no, your company has actually made one very specific type of game pretty much for 30 years. So you actually can't do this.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of Beast of Reincarnation was outsourced, but the main design team was still Game Freak, so they're doing different things now.
That's true.
They're trying.
That's true.
They're bringing in other people. But But yeah, some of the main differences was just like you could get multiple of a certain type of Pokemon. Like I watched him play the prototype for a little bit, and he had like 5 Oddishes by the end.
Maybe too much.
And it was a much more like you would like there wasn't like an ability to bring tall grass out. You would just kind of like throw it
Awesome.
into the ground. But it was blocky, and the Ditto looked like Ditto, and all this sort of stuff. It was just interesting to see, you know. I feel like Nintendo properties are always pretty reticent about showing things like in development or like in development process, so it felt cool to see something like that. Like, obviously it's not Nintendo proper, but being able to look at some of the early stuff was very neat.
Do you think they'll bring any of this more into the mainline games?
I don't know. I honestly haven't looked at much of anything for Winds and Waves.
I'm assuming that Winds and Waves would be no, just because they didn't know if this was going to work. But
sure, I mean, Winds and Waves is still over a year out.
I guess that's true.
So they're skipping this year for the mainline series for once.
Whoa.
So I know. I think it's late 2027 is the
Whoa.
Weewa release
Weewa.
date. So who knows? But they're pretty strict about like, no, we don't want any battling.
Yeah.
In this.
Do you think this game is canon?
It interestingly, like, I'm not super hip on all the lore of Pokemon, right?
Sure.
We didn't really play, I got Sword and Shield, but before that, I think the last one we played was like Gold, Silver?
No, you're thinking Platinum Diamond.
Platinum Diamond? Still. Like Game Boy games.
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah. I think Platinum and Diamond might have been DS, but yes.
Oh, maybe, yeah. But I don't think I played any of the 3DS games, and I haven't been keeping up with the anime or whatever. But apparently, like, it seems to be pulling from a bunch of different, like, slightly, like, not necessarily contradictory kind of versions of canon.
Gotcha.
To, like, reference different characters and stuff. So it's mostly just, like, kind of like a fan service what if.
No, I know.
Thing, which I think is the best way to do this.
Yeah. Well, do you have any closing thoughts on Pokopia before we try to mash up here?
It's very good. If it was on Switch 1, it probably would have sold much more.
Yeah.
But I kind of see why it's not. I imagine it is pretty strenuous for the amount of Pokemon that it has sort of moving around all at once, or it can.
Yeah.
So that's my guess for why it's a Switch 2 title only.
My guess is because they're trying to sell some Switch 2s.
Sure, but like...
No, I hear you, and I'm sure you're right.
Tomodachi Life came out at the same time, was a Switch title, and has outsold it so far. It's sold gangbusters.
Gotcha.
So.
All right, Ninja Farm.
Yeah. Farm game, but you're a ninja?
I don't know.
How does the ninja go into farming?
No, I was thinking more of like you have like ninjas are your livestock.
Oh. More like a management game.
Yeah.
Not a farming game.
But it's a farm.
You run like a ninja school.
Kind of, yeah. I think you could do something with that.
Ninja 3 houses.
That is basically, what I was thinking. But none of the battles. Neither of these games have battles, despite being in genres and series where battling is traditionally pretty central. So there cannot be any combat.
You do still kill people.
Sorry,
in Mark of the Ninja.
I know that, but I'm taking inspiration from their desire to have a very combat light ninja game.
Okay. So you're friendly ninja.
Yeah. Okay. Like kind of Robin Hood.
You're like you do good deeds sort of secretly.
Like sort of a Kiryu. Like if Kiryu ran a ninja school instead of the orphanage.
The Daidoji game.
Basically, yeah. But the Daidoji are bad.
That's true. Yeah, like kind of like a cartoonish, like you're ninja, but like your job is really just to like do good deeds without being seen.
Yeah.
Like rescue a child. Child is let go of their balloon, and you have to rescue it, right?
Yeah.
And you sort of guide. There's not really like a raising simulator to either of these games, but adding that in, you sort of guide your ninja on the path to becoming better ninja.
Yeah, I like over time maybe you get more skills to do secret good deeds. And like maybe you're having to like, build the town a little bit so you can keep that magic alive.
Sure. You need your ninja to be happy so that they can more effectively perform their good deed ninja
Well,
job.
that too, but I meant like, like the ninja has to be able to move in secret. So like maybe you can do better ninja things if you use the money from the karma from your ninja good deeds to invest in a secret tunnel system between the bar and the bakery or whatever.
I see, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you make secret improvements to the town.
Yeah. I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
And like basically like by making people happy by doing things for them, like they become like, oh, like yeah, like I'm feeling happy now, so like it would be cool if I added an outdoor concert space to the bookstore, or you know what I mean, like when they're happy,
sure,
they start to do other things that then unlock other things you can do for other people or ways to be sneaky.
Yeah, I like that pretty well.
I think it's not bad. I think Ninja of Kindness or whatever is pretty good. I think it would appeal, it's got cozy game.
It does. It is cozy game energy.
And then at the end you kill the whole town.
No, it's revealed this is the last town in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's post-apocalypse.
Yeah, like you are trying to maintain for them that things are good and that they don't need to leave the town because they have everything they need here.
Well, that's a little more malicious than I was thinking.
Sorry, I'm gonna go a different direction.
More for the player's benefit.
The gods have abandoned you, and you, the ninja, know that, but you're trying to maintain, that the people think that there is a god.
Okay. Sure.
Something like that.
Very Nier Automata. All of a sudden.
Yeah. The story has to be weirdly dark. Like, that's also a theme.
That's true.
I don't have like a way to turn Pokopia into like also you kill things sometimes, so I'm not gonna try.
Yeah. Pokemon stealth game would be really funny though.
Honestly, yeah. Like you're
a ninja, but your abilities are like Charmander.
You have Pokemon and you have to use that. Like those are your like ability things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think there's something to that. That will never happen.
I mean, it'd have to be pure stealth or like non-lethal style, like Team Rocket is blasting off again type takedowns.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think you could do something though with like a Europe kind of bumbling Team Rocket person.
Yeah.
Doing stealth.
Yeah.
Even if you're a bumbling Team Rocket person and you think that you discovered that what Team Rocket is doing is bad.
Sure. Pokopia does one of the main story quests is like there's like a bumbling Team Rocket person that's left notes everywhere.
Great.
About how they're trying to get other people to do their job for them.
Nice. Okay, I think those are two great ideas. Well done, us.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
Do you think it's dumb that Pokopia is only on the Switch 2? I'd take a version that only had 150 Pokemon. Like, that's fine with me. Give me the baby version for Switch 1. Is it curious to you that Mark of the Ninja, despite being pretty well liked, kind of disappeared? Do you remember the days when things would be referred to as Xbox Live arcade games? Would you have realized that a 2D stealth game is sort of like a weird thing? Or would you have just played it and been like, oh, fun game? If you have thoughts about this or anything else we talked about this week, hit us up on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky at Talk This Podcast. You can also visit our website, www.talkthispodcast.com, where you can read all about the show, check out the games in the hat, and read our blog. But most importantly, if you enjoy the show, you ought to subscribe. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, Pandora Podcasts, online and on the app, Overcast, Pocket Cast, wherever you can find podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe to Talk This so you never miss an episode on Sundays. It's my side quest next week, but Emma, what are we talking about in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks for our old game, we're talking about Republic.
Okay.
And for our new game, we're talking about Mugenics.
Is that a Pokemon game?
This is not, thankfully.
Well, that's it. That's our show. Thanks for listening. Emma, sign us off.
This week, I hope that your habitat is seriously awesome.